What most people don't know about coal-fired power is that it produces tens of thousands of tonnes of toxic coal ash waste. Full of heavy metals and dumped into enormous pits that are poorly managed and regulated, coal ash poses a huge threat to our air, water, land and communities. We spoke with locals on the New South Wales Central Coast who live near these dumps about their concerns. They are just one community in Australia at risk from toxic coal ash dumps.
The main concerns I have always held about the ash dam is the leachate. We know that they were built in the late 60s. We know the technology was not to line any of these dams then.
They're as big as a suburb. They're unlined. We don't know what's happening to the aquifers underneath or around the place, but certainly we know that it's leaching into the waterways.
Many of the fish in Lake Macquarie now have levels of selenium and nickel and copper and cadmium at levels where people should reduce the amount of fish they eat from Lake Macquarie. Crabs, for example, have cadmium levels that are so high that they shouldn't be eaten at all.
What you see is utter devastation because coal ash is dead. That's the truth. So that has really affected my life here in that sense, because I know that environmental devastation is on my doorstep. And it also has an effect that we want to know that that is safe for all of us for our health.
My voluntary job is to take disabled people out into the ocean and give them a happy and safe surfing experience. But whilst we have contaminants coming down our lakes and river systems, my job is becoming harder. I take people into the ocean with disabilities. I don't want to bring them out with further disabilities.
If there's going to be an earthquake and you're going to be deluged in coal ash, you're in really bad trouble and the community's not been informed of this. What are the safety measures if there is such an event? We're not informed at all. We're left to sink or swim, and I don't want to swim in coal ash.
We found, after doing water testing, that there were significant levels of heavy metals being discharged in Lake Macquarie, and some of those metals weren't being regulated effectively by the EPA. Vales Point Power Station, for example, doesn't have any restrictions on the amount of heavy metals that are released into Lake Macquarie from the power station.
Pollution control is the responsibility in Australia for the state governments. It's our opinion that the state governments are failing in that responsibility. They're not controlling the toxic pollution that's dumped in unlined repositories around Australia. They're not controlling the air pollution when dust and ash blows off these ash dumps. And they're really not controlling the water pollution that's leaching and leaking into places like the beautiful Lake Macquarie near where I live.
When the people who are perpetrating the problem actually do their own monitoring, the community's not getting the proper answers, and especially from the Environmental Protection Authority.
We need those answers, not only just for our community, everyone in Australia needs those answers, because this is a problem at every coal-fired power station around Australia.
The government needs to get real about this. It needs to engage with the community, bring the community on board, and needs to have a full inquiry, but independent inquiry, not a government-controlled inquiry.
One day this power station will go. I hope will be within my lifetime, within the next 10 years or so. I want to make sure that the legacy will not hurt any other living creature or thing. So we need to make sure that is completely rehabilitated. I don't know enough about the science of that, and I don't know the cost of that. But I do know the cost of it if we don't do it.